Well, welcome everyone to the Schuylkill Report. I'm Sam Lesante. I'm here with my co-host Jerry Enders. We want to thank you for the nice responses we're having for the Schuylkill Report. Remember, if you have anything that you'd like us to talk about that affects the communities, just email me, sam@ssptv.com. More than happy to discuss it. That's an interesting show. Jerry, so we're into winter.
Yes, we
All
are.
right. So here's the thing, Jerry. You know what I dislike? I dislike negative people.
Yeah.
I dislike negative people. When you get up in the morning and say it's sunny outside, then you have something, yeah, but it's going to snow tomorrow, it's going to rain this way, and we're in the winter, and it's sometimes not the very best.
Well, and we live in the Northeast.
Yeah, and so I just say, well, look, just be a little bit positive. I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, I have my crucifix there, I kiss it and say thank you for another day, okay?
Right.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
And then do you kiss your wife?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Every morning.
And thank her for another day.
That's right. Even though she pounds me during the day, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then, I was thinking of a story, Jerry, a friend of mine, how people's attitudes are.
Right.
And, I know life isn't,
all roses.
yeah.
Right.
But a friend of mine, many years ago, I was in the JCs. And bear with me, if you've probably heard this story, I mentioned it to Rotary. Richard was in the JCs, a good friend of mine, and we would get together twice a week with JCs. You know the JCs.
Right.
Long story short, I hadn't seen Richard in a while. And I had piano and organ stores with my partner, Johnny Morato, and we were on Wyoming Street, and it was a day that I had to go make to the bank. And it was a miserable day. It was raining, it was sleeting, it was like a miserable, miserable day. I'm walking down Wyoming Street talking to myself, complaining about the weather. Who do I see across the street but Richard, who I haven't seen in 3 months? So I said, hey, Richard. He said, Sam, how are you? So I crossed the street. I said, Richard, what a terrible, miserable day this is. It sucks. Incidentally, where the hell you been? I haven't seen you in 3 months.
Yeah.
He said, I guess you didn't know. I said, what? He said, I had a brain tumor. I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He says, yes, Sammy. He said, he has 6 children, never had a TV, very conservative. He said, I'm getting ready to go in for the operation. My 6 children are there, and my wife's there. And the doctor came out. And he said, Richard, I'm going to be very honest with you. You have a 50-50 chance of living.
Right.
Then he looked me right in the eye, Jerry, and guess what he said to me? He looked up and he says, isn't this a beautiful day?
Yeah.
And I said, you son of a bitch, how is it that we enjoy so much in life
And take it for granted.
And take it for granted.
Right.
And here's this guy, was told he had, and
50-50.
I'm complaining about the weather.
Yeah.
And so I just think to myself, not that I hate negative people, but, just try to be positive and kind. That's unfortunately 3 months later.
That's how you and I met. We're 2 positive people.
You have to be.
Yeah.
But sad part, Jerry, 3 months later he died.
Oh, well, that was a shame. But you got to talk to him,
Yeah,
and he taught you something that you're carrying on. Be positive and look at the sunshine.
That's it. If you didn't have that, well, tell me your story.
Oh. Well, for the people out there complaining and not getting to work, a little car tip.
Yeah.
For today, you got to have the right tires. You got to have the window wash fluid filled up. You got to start your car a little early. And we want to remind people in this weather, which this will be airing all through the winter, clean that snow off the roofs. You don't want to get stopped by the police, have an ice hit another car and stuff. But if you're going to travel now, our son Nick and the grandson and all were in for a hockey tournament down in Quakertown. They came in from Michigan. And, traveling like that in this weather and that's one thing we made sure that you have blankets and flashlights and all that in there. And there again, even in the weather, they came in and Quakertown, they had people from Florida, California, from Chicago, all in Quakertown. You talk about good tourism. But there again, in this weather, we told our son Nick, now make sure you have everything you need to travel. And I'm saying that to anybody that's going to travel, fix up that basket or bag full of snacks and carrot, and make sure you have a flashlight and maybe some fluorescent clothes or something if you had to get out and do anything along the highway. But you got to be prepared, Sam.
You know what? You're so right, Jerry, because just coming down here, we saw the Interstate 81 was backed up. You never know when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We have a great show for them today. We have a great show.
Absolutely.
In fact, you know where we're at? We're at the Alvernia University.
And the OPake Institute.
And the OPake Institute. It's absolutely beautiful. They gave me a tour of it before we started the show, and we're going to be talking to Cynthia and Jack about this place. And there's so much that they have to offer. I think you'll be interested in knowing what's going on. Then
we have Lee.
I was just going to say, we have a person here, been in business for 100 years.
100 years in Pottsville, third generation, and I am excited to interview Lee and get him on here and tell his story because he has a fantastic store and he's been a pillar of the Pottsville community for 100 years, his family.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and let's talk to Jack Cossa first, okay? Be back right after this. Hey, welcome to the Sam Lesante Schuylkill Report Show, my friends, and I appreciate the nice comments. Remember, if you have any comments that you'd like to make or suggestions, it's the Schuylkill Report. Send it to me, sam@ssptv.com. Thank you very much, my friends, for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania, taken from the Susquehanna Polling and Research. They were voted the #1 research company in the United States, so we appreciate that scientific report. We have, as I said before, we're here at the Pottsville, CollegeTowne, Alvernia University, Jerry, and I pronounced your name wrong. You're actually Jack Cossa, right?
Yep, Jack Cossa.
Remember that. That's your name.
Yes, that is my name, yes.
Jerry, you have some interesting questions to ask
Well,
us.
he's the graduate assistant of the community-based campuses in Pottsville. And Jack does a fabulous job. I happen to have the opportunity to be here for a grand opening when they held it. A lot of dignitaries were here and all, and Jack and the staff here are phenomenal. And I know he's got a lot to do here. You're a busy guy, and it's just a asset for the community, for the city of Pottsville. And I also know from being on the PADCO board, and you as well, that you are also having involved with PADCO for area development, like in Reading. So tell us a little bit about that story, like in Reading, how well Alvernia built that community, and now you're looking to enhance Pottsville.
So I started with the OPake Institute in 2022 as an undergraduate fellow, and I was actually then able to have the chance to get my Master's of Business Administration at Alvernia for this year, my 5th year, which is where I'm able to be the graduate assistant of community-based campuses. So we provide different business services to small businesses, entrepreneurs within the local area of Reading. And we opened up this satellite campus in Pottsville, and we thought that it'd be a great idea to provide our business services to small business entrepreneurs up in the local Schuylkill County area. My job is to add to, as a liaison, to work with graduate and adult education, small business entrepreneurs, and bring them to the OPake Institute to provide them different services throughout the year as a client to help elevate their business.
What are some of the services?
Yes, so we offer business model canvassing, finance, marketing. If you need, to get in front of an investor, we can help you do that as well. It's really anything you can really think of. We provide a lot of consulting services as well. So anything you can think of, we can do.
Any business could utilize.
Yes.
And from what my involvement being with you and being invited and being here for some events and that goes not just for new business, but that goes for existing businesses that are struggling. They can reach out to Jack and the university, and they'll go in and say, well, let's see what you're doing. What's your business model? Maybe there's something we can fix, right, Jack?
Yeah, definitely. So we offer a lot of consulting services as well. So if you're a business that's already off and running, but just want a little bit of extra help to really take it to the next level, you can come to OPake and we can provide that service to you.
Right. Now, I think that's wonderful, and that was the one point that really stuck with me when I first met you and met the rest of the staff, the president.
Yep.
I met her.
Gladys Fitzgerald, she's the best. She
Yep,
really is.
and I'm sure she doesn't mind the weather today because she's from Buffalo.
I bet she doesn't.
So I'm
I
sure
bet she doesn't.
this is a delightful day for her. But all the folks I met so far here are just helpful, pleasant, and it just, that's the key to getting people in the door, that they don't feel pressured or anything, or that they can't come here. And that's the word you're trying to get out today, is anybody can come to that door and say, hey, I need some help.
Yeah, super down-to-earth people, and that's part of the reason why I chose Alvernia, because I was actually on the baseball team for 4 years at Alvernia, and I was like, you know, I want to go to a school where I can advance my business degree, make high-level professional relationships with the professors, and as well as play baseball as well. And then I found OPake, and that's how my career really took off, and I loved every second of it, and I'm super thankful for it.
And you're very enthusiastic, I'll tell you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And I'll tell you, I had the tour before we started the show, and it's very impressive.
It really is.
I wish you the best, and I hope that people take advantage of what's available to them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, their website's on the screen, my friends. You could be able to ask them any question. They can certainly be of service to you. Okay, coming up next, we'll be talking to Cynthia Mensch, who is the Pottsville CollegeTowne director. She's been here a little bit. Welcome back to the Schuylkill Report. We're here, my friends, at Alvernia University, Pottsville, CollegeTowne. Beautiful place. They gave me a tour of the place. It's just absolutely beautiful. You heard from Jack. Now we have Cynthia Mensch, who is the Pottsville CollegeTowne director. Cynthia, thanks for the tour.
Thank you.
What
Thanks
a
for
beautiful
coming.
place you have here.
It is
And
beautiful.
I'm impressed because of what you have available here. Jerry, they have so many things available here.
They have a lot of academics, and they have a lot of opportunity for young people, but also for mature people and mid-range people, I mean, with businesses and people that want to get started. And I hear a lot about your OPake Institute, the nursing program.
Yes.
The nursing program is very big. I know some people right now that are getting out of school, and their girls are going into your nursing program, right?
Yes, we have about 125 nursing students here at Alvernia Pottsville CollegeTowne. We're in our third year of a partnership with Joseph F. McCluskey School of Nursing. So they come here for year one, they do their liberal arts courses, and then they go up to the School of Nursing for year 2 and year 3, and then they graduate from them with an RN, and then they graduate with us with an associate in applied science.
Right.
And then they come back that 4th year and get their BSN.
Talk about the other things you have available for adult education.
We have 13 different majors that we offer here with a bachelor degree. So they can come and they can take addictions and mental health, they can take criminal justice, education, special education, finance, healthcare science, healthcare administration, business management, HR management, psychology. So we have a lot of programs.
You know, that it interests me because, as Jerry said, it's for all ages, okay? So sometimes people are in the workforce and they want to move up,
Yes.
okay, but they need additional education for the position they want. I think this is a perfect fill for them. So
It
if
is,
you
yeah.
want to advance.
Yeah, it is. We have a lot of partnerships with a lot of the local businesses, and there's tuition reimbursement, tuition deferment, things like that, so that students are working already in the field, but they want to advance. They can take classes here, get a degree, and get that advancement.
You know, Cynthia, sometimes people go into a major and then they switch and that's common. I
Sure.
mean, sometimes they may switch 3 or 4 times. In terms of a person who wants to get into a field and wants to know something about that field, you have the information to provide to them.
We do, yes. We have our admissions advisors here on campus that will sit with the student from the moment they walk in that door. I meet with the students. I'm usually their advisor, so we help them every step of the way. With adult students, the number one thing I think is just walking in that door. You know,
Yes.
they're afraid. So we get them in here, we give them a tour. I love when people come into the building to see the building, you know, to go for a tour. I love to show them what we offer, and show the adults, especially adults who are in their 30s and 40s and even 50s, that it's not too late. You know, you can go back and get that degree and get that dream job.
And they don't feel intimidated
No,
because
and
it's very casual, and everybody here, all the staff, yourself, Jack, and all, just really are very accommodating and friendly to deal with. So, you know, you go into another large university, you're looking around and kind of intimidating, but for somebody that wants to go for secondary education, it's great.
And we try to meet the students at their need. So if they want to take one class at a time, they can take one class. If they want to take 2 or 3, they can take 2 or 3. They can do it at their own pace.
How many years you been? Well,
Going on 13 years.
so Jerry, she knows a little bit about it.
I know a little bit.
My friends,
Absolutely.
my friends were here at Alvernia University. Their website is on the screen, and the phone number is 570-385-2382. There is so much to be said about what they have to offer here at Alvernia that I highly recommend you looking it up. Cynthia, I know we could be on here for another half an hour. I appreciate the invitation, and I appreciate the offer that Jerry and I could maybe do future shows here.
Absolutely, you're welcome every time. Anytime.
Before we bring our friend on, Lee, tell me, what is one of the things that, you know, when you think of Alvernia University, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
I said this at my interview 13 years ago. They asked me what could I bring to Alvernia, and I think it's for overall for the whole campus. We care. We care about the person. We care about the student. We care about their circumstance. We offer all kinds of different programs to help students along the way, to help them succeed. And we'll be there with them every step of the way.
And you know what, Cynthia? It shows.
Thank you.
Who's our next guest before
Hey, Lee Bohorad from Bohorad Clothing Store right in Pottsville. 100 years family business, 3rd generation. I'm so thrilled to have Lee here today and talk about it. He is, next to Yingling, the oldest continuous business in Pottsville.
And just think, 12 more years, he'll hit 100 years old. We'll be back. We'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back to the Schuylkill Report. I'm Sam Lesante, joined by my co-host Jerry Enders. Remember, you have anything you'd like to add to this show, sam@ssptv.com. Jerry, friend of yours here, over 100 years in business. Wow.
Lee Bohorad, I mean, he's a legend. His family's business is a legend. It's a staple in the community, the clothing store, but so much more to it. It's the 100 years, 3 generations, right, Lee?
Yes.
3 generations. And through COVID, Lee and I were talking about this. Through COVID, everything slowed down. We all know that, you know. And Lee did what you were talking about earlier. He looked up, the sun was shining. He says, what can I do? He diversified. He has a fabulous store. He does dry cleaning, laundry, tailoring, suits. I mean, can dress you up, tuxedos and all that. But Lee, you made some changes, which was phenomenal. You went another step to bring in new clientele. Tell us a little bit about that, your sports stuff, your backpacks, your new.
Well, thank you, Sam and Jerry, for having me here today. And I mean, primarily the store offers many services that, you know, you really can't get in malls or on the internet. Right. I mean, the clothing sales, and we do a big tuxedo business. Sometimes we have several weddings every weekend during the wedding season. Mm-hmm. We have a tailoring, we have a full-time tailor, and we do all types of tailoring work and dry cleaning as well. But during COVID, we were forced to close and decided to keep the doors open. We would add some sporting goods. Mm-hmm. And it's been real good. And it brings a lot of traffic through the door. And my father used to say every day in business, every time a person walks in the door, it's an opportunity. And I believe that. And people walk in that door and everyone's treated with respect. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's all the years I can honestly say I've been there, I've never had more fun than I have since COVID.
Right.
Because we get so much more traffic in and so many new people. Every day in Pottsville I see, well, you know, Jerry, I mean, you know everybody, and at one time in Pottsville, you knew everybody walking up and down the street. Right. People were dressed a little differently. Yep. That all changed. And now, every person that walks in the door, it's a good opportunity for us, and it's been a lot of fun for me.
100 years. Yeah. It's a challenge.
I'm going to jump in there. Tell us a little bit about how did your grandfather start? What?
Well, my
story
grandfather and Sam Bohorad from Pottsville, my family was from Frackville, started the store at the end of 1923, and my grandfather did not drive, so he would take the bus, the family had no car, to Pottsville every day, and he and Sam got the store going in Pottsville. Several years later, we opened up a satellite store up in Frackville, and also one in Montana City that Harry Bohorad offered. And the store survived during the Depression. And my grandfather, as I said, he did not drive, and he took the bus down every day and built things up, he and Sam. And my father came along in the early 50s after his college and his World War II service, and he's been there, and I've been there since I finished school.
Yeah.
And it's just...
You're having fun, aren't you, Lee?
I'm having more fun than I've ever had. Ever since COVID, everything changed, and...
Do you have any children?
Pardon me?
Do you have any children?
My son Eli is about to finish college actually this semester. So I think he has some different ideas, but
You never know.
I never
gotta
say
wait and
never.
see, right? Yeah.
We'll see. He can do what he wants, and
Well, I know one of your good customers that's very loyal is Naomi Ost. And she just loves your store, and I guess she's been coming here since her late husband Clayton and everybody, they've all shopped with you. And that's the thing that I noticed. His clientele have been going there since, some of them since the 50s,
Yeah.
60s and that. And
well, like you, Jerry, the main thing is service.
yeah.
And I mean, we bend over backwards, just like you. Every person that walks in the door is important and gets treated that way. And I think that's the main reason why we've been there for this long.
Oh, absolutely. And through thick and thin, as we would say, you survived and you made the changes that were needed. And I was in the other day and I took some snapshots of the store, and you have some photos here from the 1950s that we'll be putting on, and people will be able to look at them as we're talking. And Sam's going to get a couple of pictures of those, but I took some new ones I'm going to share with Sam to post, and it hasn't changed very much. The showcases, the look, very professional, very clean. Really like the look in there, and it's just it makes people feel good going in. I seen a very diverse bunch of buyers in there the
Just
other
an
day.
old-fashioned store, and we just keep things simple, and clothing business is simple, and
We'll keep it going for at least another 50 years, okay?
Well, we're gonna try.
I want to thank you for coming on the show, and congratulations to you. Bear with Jerry and I. I'm doing a little homework. Jerry, the Schuylkill Adventure Guide. Tell me a little bit about this.
Explorer Schuylkill. Well, we have approximately 180 members of Explorer Schuylkill. We print 100,000 of these adventure guides a year, and they go to all the visitor centers throughout the state on the highways, and that we send 50,000 to the state to put out, and plus around here. But it's a very inexpensive organization, and any kind of business, whether it's a clothing store, garage, service center, we have. And when you go through it, there's all kinds of services in here we offer, and with Alvernia and all. But it's a guide to Schuylkill County.
My friends, let me tell you, this will give you, when you see what's in here, a lot of great information. Next month, who we have coming on?
Next month, looks like we're going to have Regina Gargano. She's our CEO and Executive Director of Explorer Schuylkill. And I'm going to be reaching out to the Yinglings because coming up in July, they're bringing Lee Bryce back. Again, I saved the paper here called the Stars and Stripes Summer Celebration with Yingling, 195-year landmark there for Yingling. And they donate a lot of money to the veterans in the military.
Now, my friends, he brought something up. You know, the paper, the Republican Herald, are media sponsors with us as well as the Standard Speaker. One of the reasons we are media sponsors and I promote the paper is here is information that's important for everyone to know, and it's here in the Republican Herald. So if you're not a subscriber, I highly recommend you subscribe. There's a lot of great information on that. I love the Sunday coupons. I make money on the papers, really. Standard Speaker and also the Republican Herald. I'm glad you brought it in. Listen, thanks again.
thank you
Wish
very
you the
much for
best.
having
And Lee,
me.
Jerry?
your address?
6-8 North Center Street, right downtown Pottsville.
Easy to find. Stop in.
Stop in and say hi to Lee. We'll see you next time.